This says, genuine question. Tesla's mission is to mass produce EVs that regular people use. Why is everyone obsessed with speed? Who cares? Regular people are just getting from point A to B, constricted by speed limits, often in congested cities. Why is this such a selling point?
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. I
it's
think,
fun,
unfortunately,
is the reason.
Or, yeah.
No, I mentioned this sort of at the end when we were in the car, but like, you know, Tesla has like a couple main selling points that they're really good at. One of them is like they happen to be the safest cars you can buy. One of them is that they happen to have like the most tech of any car you can buy. Mm-hmm. One of them is maybe someday the autopilot will get good enough where you don't really have to drive it that much. But one of them is definitely that they're some of the most fun cars to drive, and everybody who gets them knows that. And most people I know who get them are very aware of that and love that about them. So you can ask all you want, like, what's the point? You can't really take advantage of it, but it's just fun.
Yeah, I think, like you said, there's so many other benefits. And yes, speed is one. Speed is one that's just like, it's so easy to pick a number and compare it to another car. It's so much harder to pick one headline grabbing title to explain that like autopilot is better in this car than another car. It just doesn't really flow off the tongue. So we live in a world where, unfortunately, headlines are the big thing that get all the traction. So, yes, you're seeing that speed seems like the main selling point here, but I would probably almost argue it isn't. I would just argue that it's the most advanced. Tesla is generally the most advanced EV right now. One of the best infrastructures out there. It's just like the total package in the EV world, it's winning. So, like, that's what's selling it. Speed is the quick and easy headline. I mean, if you talk about trying to show it on video in 5 seconds, you can show how fast a Model S Plaid is, where it would take a 10-minute video to go over all the different like autopilot features of it or safety features, and that's just not as fun to watch.
Here's one more answer to that question. You might have heard about something called the halo car effect, and it's been sort of explained in a couple different ways, but the easiest way to explain it is you want to have a car at the top of your lineup that demonstrates the best of your abilities, something like a flagship. So Audi makes a lot of different cars. They make sedans, they make hatchbacks, they make regular cars, and then they make the R8. And the R8, it's a V10, shares the same engine from like a Lamborghini Aventador, and it's an incredible supercar. And they'll trickle down the tech from that and all the headlines from as good as that car is with everything else in their lineup. And this is very common among a lot of other like high performance sort of car brands. Tesla uniquely is sort of creating a halo car for all of electric cars. So you've heard Elon sort of talk about like, we want driving the electric car to be the obvious choice. And there's a group of people who pick their car based on how fun it is to drive. There's a group of people who base their car purchase on like how fast it can be and all these types of things. And when you have an electric car that does that better than gas cars, that's just one more reason to advance overall people being okay with electric cars. So it's a halo car type of feature for electric cars in general, but of course for Teslas. When you have fast Teslas, people now understand that Teslas and electric cars can be high performance cars too.
Yeah, and I think that like it might not sound that important. Yes, the everyday person is talking about, just getting from point A to B with a speed limit, but if you think back to pre-Tesla, when we're talking about like early hybrids, the main criticism of them is like, this is this dinky little car that can barely make it down it can make it down the road, but there's still plenty of people who are making fun of it for not having any pickup or not having any acceleration, and Tesla with EVs changed that, and now it's much harder for people to use that argument as a gas car enthusiast to say that the performance aspect of it is not up to snuff. If anything, it's better now. So it's completely eliminated that argument out of there, and it's given EVs a place in our market.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And there's people who take their car to the drag strip on weekends for fun. Like, you couldn't do that with an electric car for a long time. So now you can.
Well, so here's a question. Right now, we're kind of seeing like the Model S Plaid is definitely their higher tier car, but is still shaped in kind of for an everyday family. It has a hatchback. It's got plenty of room. Like, it's not your average sports car.
Yeah.
When Roadster comes out, do you think they start caring a little less about Model S and its overall speeds? Like, Plaid is pushing a number we haven't seen before, but when Roadster's doing that, I can't see Plaid pushing any further.
Yeah, I fully agree. So Plaid, just in Tesla's nomenclature, is really just referring to the powertrain, the triple motor powertrain.
I should have said Model S. That's my
right.
bad, yeah.
But no, I think you're right. I think when Roadster comes out, that's where they focus on performance. You notice Plaid Plus was canceled. Like they had plans for a slightly faster, slightly higher powered Model S, and I think realized, at some point during that process, not only would they not be able to make it in time, but like it's not really a priority.
Yeah.
And yes, I do think Roadster takes over the halo car effect from Plaid Model S when it comes out. I think that's true. Thanks for watching this Waveform clip. If you want to subscribe to the Waveform Clips channel, which is what you're on right now, definitely do that below. Also, definitely make sure you watch the full episode. We always link that below on the main podcast channel. Also, listen anywhere. If you want to listen to some audio-only version, you can definitely do that.
You can.
And subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. Subliminal messaging. It's working, right? You hit the like button too, right? You hit it. Okay, cool. See you later.